Hi YouTube. My name is Lakita, and I wanted to get on here and share my bariatric story. I just want to start off by saying that this is the best decision I ever made, and don't let no one ever tell you that it's not. So if you want to hear my story, keep watching. Okay, so my surgery, I had my surgery September 18th, 2017 at Buffalo General Hospital here in Buffalo, New York, and my surgeon was Dr. Aaron Hoffman. Um, I just want to get on here and share my story. I've watched so many YouTube videos. I thought I was totally prepared for the surgery, and you will never be prepared. And every surgeon and every program is not the same. And I quickly learned that going through this program and watching YouTube programs and just learning about other programs that were offered in my city. There are, I think I know of three, and these are the big companies, the big surgeon facilities. I know Catholic Health had one a few years ago that I did go to. I don't hear too much about that one anymore. But I did go to that seminar, and then I let my shitty boyfriend tell me that I was not, I didn't need it, so I didn't do it 3 years ago after I had my daughter, and I listened, and okay. So now let's just fast forward to these years. I do know that they have a Synergy one at Erie County Medical Center, which their program is quite different from Buffalo General, and Buffalo General is where I chose to go because it's a bigger one. This is the one I hear of. My sister works at Buffalo General, so I figured go somewhere where you know what I'm saying. So that's the one I did go to. I started off at the beginning of the year. I was feeling really sluggish. I was at the highest weight I've ever been, and I did not know what to do. I didn't know where to turn at that point. Just to start off, but my stats, I started off at 304. I started day of surgery, I was 291. Today I am 273. I am 2 weeks and 5 days out. So from 2 weeks, I went from 291, I'm sorry, to 272. So to me, I am excited. I am very anxious to know. I am just excited to start this journey. It's by far not the easy thing that everyone thinks. People think that surgery is the way out and it's easy and you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be skinny, and it's not. I am at a stall right now, and I'm happy for my stall because then it pushes me to do more. It pushes me to get up and be active, because you just can't sit around and be lazy and think that you're gonna just lose this weight. Yes, it happens for some people, but then that's when you get these people that lose their muscle mass and everything, and I don't want to do that. I know I'm gonna have loose skin. I know I'm gonna deal with that, but I want to try to avoid it as much as possible. So this is gonna push me to get up and do more. Let's just start with just the background of why I decided to have this surgery. Let's just go back to March 19th of 2016, which is my grandmother's birthday. May she rest in peace. That marked 2 years that my grandmother had passed away that day. And I was just depressed that day. It was a bad day for me. And I'm getting ready for work, and I get a phone call. My dad passed away. So I am freaking out. Coming to find out, my dad did go to the hospital. He had a heart attack, and he died for 25 minutes. At that point, he was in a coma, and they didn't see him getting out of that coma. The doctors was like, there's no way he's going to get out. If he does, he's going to be brain dead, and there's really nothing you guys can do about it. And it hit hard. It hit hard with my family, and it was stressful. A week later, my aunt, which is his sister, went into the hospital. She was in a coma, and she was brain dead. Her brain swelled. She was getting her hair done, and she had an allergic reaction. So within a week, we're dealing with two of our parents that, two of our family members that are in the hospital, and they're telling us there's nothing they can do for them. So that just started off a shitty year. It just started 2016, just started off really shitty, and it was stressful. My dad, he did recover. He did come out of his coma, and they did have to amputate his leg. He had a lot of health issues. He was having heart attacks a lot, and he was a diabetic, so they did to amputate his leg, but he ended up getting an infection in the hospital, and it just all like kind of tumbled from there. He went from his highs to his lows. He went back to his highs and his lows. He went to knowing who we were to not knowing who we were. You know, it was a lot. So let's fast forward to August of that year. My aunt, which is the only healthy one left out of them, her two siblings are in the hospital. She's going from work. She's going to take care of her siblings. She's going to pray over them. She's going to do all that. You know, she's being that sister. You know what I'm saying? She dies. She has a heart attack. She passes away. The only healthy one out of our family, she passes away, and it just like it sent our family over the board, and we were just done. Like, it was like, what, like, why her? Like, she was healthy. She was the one holding us together. She was the one consoling us that our parents were sick, and now we have to console her kids, and her kids are consoling us because our parents, and now we're consoling them because they just lost their mom, and there was like no warning, no forewarning. At least we were prepared for ours. Them, they weren't. So she passes away, and it just like messed us up. So October 15th, my aunt passed away. She ended up, you know, just succumbing to all her illnesses and her coma and everything, and she did pass away. And 2 weeks later, my dad did pass away. So within 3 months, we lost our whole generation right there. They were gone. Like, we have no older family. You know, we have their cousins now. We have our grandfather, thank God he's still alive, but we lost everybody, you know. And it's, you know, now we have to be there for my grandfather because now he's, you know, he just seen his wife and his kids die. So with them all passing away, I just, like, you know, I ate and I was like depressed, and I was just going through a lot of stuff, you know, relationship issues, everything. So I was just like, you know, I was just like at my wit's end. I was just eating. So that led to 2017, where I was 304 pounds, and I was just way overweight. I went to my doctor. I was having a problem sleeping. I just didn't understand, which I should have understood because I was 304 pounds. Honey, like, what did you expect? Like, of course you're tired, you're restless because you're not eating right. You know, you overweight. Like, girl, get your life together. So I went to my doctor anyway, and I'm like, hey, I can't sleep. I can't do this. Like, 304. So he sent me through some tests. He had me have a sleep study. Everything came back, and I was negative. It was just like, honey, you're just overweight. You need to lose some weight. So he did bring back up the surgery. He's like, how about you try the bariatric surgery? So I'm like, okay, I guess, you know, I've done the pills. I did the phentermine. I did all that. So I'm like, all right. I was so offended like years ago when I did my phentermine and my doctor told me maybe I should have surgery, and I'm like, what you trying to say? I know what you're trying to say, but, you know, whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is like the second time they didn't said it. Let me just look into it. So he sent me a referral. He sent me a referral to go to Buffalo General under Aaron Hoffman. So what I did was with their program, you have to go attend a seminar. So I did go to the seminar, scheduled the seminar. You have to bring a support person. So I did include my sister. I did have my sister come with me. She is in the healthcare field. She's going to nursing school. She works there. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll have her come with me. She, when I did tell her, I'm like, hey, I want to do the seminar. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because I want to have this surgery. And she's like, but you're not that big. And I'm like, but I am that big. I'm like, you don't even know what my scale says. It might not look like the scale's gonna say that, but girl, the scale's gonna say it. I need to have it. So she's like, oh, I don't know, it's so dangerous, blah, 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 blah. So we went to the thing, and when she left, she was so confident, and she's like, you know what, I really think it is a good idea for you to do it. You know, I feel a lot more confident knowing the risk and all the stuff and all that. You should do it. So I'm like, okay. So they called me like a week later for my first appointment. When I got my first appointment, that's when I did let my mom know, like, hey, Mom, I'm thinking about doing the surgery. And she's like, but you're not that big. And I'm like, but I am that big. So I have my first appointment. I go, it's a 3-hour appointment. That 3-hour appointment, they weigh you, they give you like this booklet. You get a chart that you have to take in with every appointment. It gives you, they write down your weight, they give you your body fat percentage and your BMI. You talk about the different options. You'll see a physical therapist. The physical therapist makes you do like a little workout, get your heart rate up, see where you stand in like workout and stamina. They will take your before picture, and I think after a year they do your after picture. You'll see a dietitian. The dietitian goes over the South Beach diet. That is what they make you go on, the South Beach diet, which you start off 2 weeks no carbs at all, no carbs. Then you start implementing carbs. So they give you all of that. They reschedule for your next appointment. Your next appointment is when they expect you to lose the weight. You have to lose 5% of your body fat percentage. And then they'll, once that goes, they have to see that you're dedicated. Once you come for your second appointment, then they'll schedule you to see your surgeon. So, all right, I left there. I was pretty excited. I'm like, oh, hell yes. Like, you sometimes you have that mentality. You're like, okay, it's April. I'm going to have my summer body, girl. I'm going to lose this weight, and I'm going to have my surgery by the summer, and I am going to be out here. It's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot go into this having that mentality, because that's when you will fail. You will fail if you have that mentality. Believe me, because you will become discouraged so quickly that you're not going to be motivated to do it. This is not, you didn't gain this weight overnight, and you're not going to lose it overnight. But for some reason, I had that mentality, and I was like, listen, I'm going to be out here snatching hearts, snatching souls, and snatching, okay? But that's not how it goes. It's really not how it goes, and that's what you need to understand. So, I left there. I was really motivated. I got all my, meal stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to dive into this. I let everybody at my job know by this time. They knew I was having a surgery. They knew I had to do a 2-week no carb, and they were very supportive. I work in the office. My department, we're really close. We're very, passionate about each other's goals and aspirations. So when I did let them know that, they helped tremendously. They did not order out, and I am the girl that orders out every day, and I'm getting the chicken wings and subs, and I'm the one coordinator of the parties and the pizza and the wings and everything. I'm the coordinator in my department when it comes to parties. So for that time, they made sure we didn't have any parties, and they made sure we did not have any ordering out or anything like that. So they were very supportive about it. After the 2 weeks, I did start implementing my stuff back in, and that's when I lost my damn mind. I started eating fruit, and then we had a party that day, and I just started eating. And I started eating pizza, and I started, pizza, you can't have pop. You gotta have pop with your pizza. Or if you had a sub, you gotta have pop with your sub, right? Well, that was my mentality, so I just started eating like I was, and then I started partying, and I was drinking, and I was doing all that again. So it kind of reversed everything I worked so hard to get. I reversed it. So by the time I went to my next appointment, I was only down 10 pounds. So, they told me, we're going to stretch out your next appointment to meet your surgeon. By that time, you should be at where we need you to be. So that pushed it out into July. Now, we're in July now, okay, for me to meet my surgeon. Just because they needed me to lose that weight. So shame on myself, but these are the things that people, you need to know that you should not do during your surgery. So, when I did go to my next appointment, when you go with your surgeon, you have to have that support person that came to your seminar. They have to be there with you. So I did have my sister come with me. And I talked to Aaron Hoffman. We did go over the options and everything. During that time, before all of that, you got to make sure you go to all your appointments. You go for an endoscopy, and that's when they put the scope down your throat and they check your stomach. So they did already know that I had a hiatal hernia that needed to be repaired, because he is the one that did my endoscopy. You go see a therapist, a psychologist. You go see a psychologist. So I did all of that already, and the sleep test, I had that done with my doctor, so I didn't have to do it again when I went to the program, which was good, because I didn't have to go to an overnight facility. I actually did mine at home, so it was a little better. So I was approved for the surgery, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this, and we're gonna get this done. And they scheduled me for August 28th, and I was like, okay, that's fine, because at that point I was in a wedding August 5th. I was in my cousin's wedding, and it was like, either I'm going to get the surgery before that wedding, and I'm not going to be able to drink and stuff, and I'm not going to enjoy myself, and I'll probably still be in recovery mode, or B, I was going to have it afterwards, and I was going to drink, and I was going to enjoy myself, and I was going to, have a good time. So yes, I did end up having it afterwards. So I did. I enjoyed myself. The wedding went out beautifully. You know, she was beautiful. We were beautiful. Everything was fine. Okay. So, the week, like right after the surgery, I mean, right after that, we had like you have like a strict time schedule to get stuff done before surgery. You have to get your medical clearance through your doctor. You have to go for blood work, but it has to be like within a certain time of your surgery. So it was like a strict schedule. So they give you kind of like a chart on what week to get this done, what week to get this done. So I got all that stuff done, and I'm like, okay, I got my job stuff squared away with HR, and I'm like, I'm ready to go out and have this surgery. So that Friday, you know, my jobs, they're celebrating. They're like, Lakita, we're gonna miss you. You know, who's gonna order for us, and we're gonna have a last hurrah. Whatever you want for lunch, we're gonna pay for it. I'm gonna buy you coffee in the morning, and we're just gonna have we're gonna miss you, and we're gonna, you know, have this good time with you. So that Friday, you know, we're having our last hurrah, and I get a freaking phone call from Buffalo General letting me know that my insurance denied me. That's when all the bullshit happened. They denied me, and I was so upset. I cried that day. I did not do any work. I was on the phone with the insurance, but I couldn't do anything anyway because my Dr. Hoffman, surgeon director coordinator, was on vacation, so she didn't even know I wasn't having my surgery. I wasn't going in surgery that Monday because they called me that Friday. I wasn't going in that Monday. I was upset. My HR, you know, I just had to go through all this stuff, and now I have to tell them about that. I'm not even having the surgery because my insurance denied me. And the way that worked was because my primary insurance is through my job employer, United Healthcare, and my secondary insurance is Medicaid. Give me a second. I'm sorry. So my job is through my insurance is through my job primary, which is United Healthcare, and I have secondary insurance through Medicaid. And how that works is if my job doesn't cover anything, Medicaid is supposed to pick it up. My job insurance is very shitty. It does not cover bariatric surgery, but it does cover all like other stuff that doesn't really matter. But it doesn't cover bariatric surgery. So they were supposed to pick it up, but it was like a miscommunication. Medicaid was like, why isn't United Healthcare why are they denying it? And they thought it was being denied because I was denied, but it was because they didn't cover it. And then they were like, well, why are we getting billed if they thought United Healthcare was their program? And I'm like, no, I'm not through your program, United Healthcare. I'm through my job, United Healthcare program. Their program would have covered it, but my job didn't. So it was just a miscommunication. So a week and a half later, they finally got that situated, and they called me and let me know I was approved, which they set my surgery date from to September 18th. But I should have known it was some bullshit with that because a lot of stuff that I didn't have done then, they wanted me to get done now. And I'm like, well, you know, what's the difference? Because the first time you did you did it through Medicaid, in which Medicaid is the one that did cover my my surgery. You didn't require all of this, so I had to get an EKG done this time. I had to get a chest x-ray done. So I went and got all that stuff done, and the day of surgery, I went in at 9 a.m. I went to the front desk, and then I had to go to registration. They took me up to the surgery room. In the surgery room, I didn't do anything, sat down. My sister and my mom were there. They gave me a shot in my leg to stop the blood clots. They just went over a whole bunch of questions. When it was time for me to go into surgery, they put me in a bed, rolled me into the the room to get prepped for surgery. That day before, I couldn't have anything but liquids. I didn't have to do a 2-week liquid thing. I just had to do the day before. I had to do a low-carb breakfast and then all liquid. So I was dehydrated by the next day. I can't have anything to drink. They're trying to find a vein. I already have shitty veins. You really can't find veins in me already. So now I'm not drinking and you're trying to find a vein. So they end up like sticking me right here. And that's what they used. And all I remember is rolling down into the room. They gave me something through my IV that made me relax. When I got in the room, I do remember like a small room. It had a whole bunch of machines and stuff in there. And I remember them putting the mask over my face, and they said, Lakita, all right, think of a happy place. And I was out. I do remember waking up in the room, and at this point I didn't have anything on my stomach, and this anesthesia had to get out my body, and my body was not reacting right to it, so I started vomiting. When I was vomiting, it was nothing but blood. I do remember them telling, go get the doctor, she's throwing up a whole lot of blood, this is not right. He's like, well, she just had surgery on her stomach, that's what's coming up is the blood. So, and she needs to get that anesthesia out because her body wasn't taking it. So I remember that. I remember like dozing back off. I remember them put me into my room, taking me to my room, and I'm still vomiting blood. I remember going back out. I remember waking back up. My sister and mom was there. I remember hearing them say they were leaving, and then I went back out. I remember my cousin coming in. She sat down and tried to talk to me for a while, but I couldn't even have a conversation with her right then and there. I'm like, I am done. I went back to sleep. I wake up. My sister and my boyfriend ended up coming later on that night. By that time, I was okay. The anesthesia was wore off, and I was okay to talk to them. And we sat there for a while. They left. That night was very hard for me. They gave me morphine, and I did not like it. I did not like how it made my body feel. It like made my heart like flutter. I felt it going through my veins, and so I told them I didn't want that anymore. So yet they moved me to the liquid, which was better, but it made me feel nauseous, and I didn't understand why. So the next day I was very nauseous. I ended up becoming dehydrated because I didn't want anything to drink. I didn't want anything touching my lips, so I had to stay another day. The next day, the third day, they finally figured out that they were giving me too much of the pain medicine, and that's why I was always nauseous. They were supposed to be giving me 15, they were giving me 30, so they were giving me double the amount of pain medicine, and that's why I was feeling nauseous. So I just decided, don't even send me home with it, just give me Tylenol. I'll be fine. I'll take Tylenol. So the first 3 days when I got home, I just took Tylenol at night. It was hard to sleep. My body, I'm not used to sleeping on my back, so it was hard for me to try to sleep on my back. I tried to sleep on my side, but you could kind of feel it like tugging and stuff. And by the week of my appointment, I was walking and I was fine. And you know, the doctor does tell you, you're only going to get better if you want to get better. And they never lied when they told you that. Like, if you don't want to get better, you're not going to get better. If you want to get better, you're going to get better. Because you can't say, I went home without any pain medicine. None of the stuff they just prescribed. I went home with none of that. And when I went to my follow-up appointment, those people that had surgery a week, they were there for their week post-op, and they were just like limping, and they were like all in pain. And I bet they were taking that pain medicine. I didn't take the pain medicine, and I was fine. I walked in there, and I'm like, they was like, girl, you don't even look like you just had surgery. And I'm like, listen, because I'm not going to sit here and let it, you know, overcome me. I'm just going to do what I have to do. So that's what I did, and that's my story. And like I said, you know, this is the best decision I made. I'm 2 weeks out, 2.5 weeks out. Well, I'll be 3 weeks and 2 days, but I'm really excited on how what this journey is going to bring me, what's going to happen. I will keep everyone updated on how this journey is. I will be having my month checkup on the 17th. I'm going to return back to work that day before, so we'll see how that goes and how it is working in, you know, in the work field and having this surgery, especially with people that like to eat like myself. So we'll see how that goes. I am going to make another video after this one. This one's just getting a little too long, but I am going to make a video after this letting you guys know my post-op and how everything went with post-op. Things that you guys need to know to not do, and things you need to know to do. So we'll go through that too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will keep you guys up on my journey. I am not gonna be that one that, you know, 6 months after, you know, you start losing your weight, and then they come back and they're like, a year afterwards, oh my god, you guys, I'm so sorry, but this is no. I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Just, you know, stick with me. I'll stick with you guys, and I'll let you guys know anything you need to know. I will answer it. If you have any questions, just comment on the bottom, and I will answer all questions in my next video. If you guys want to know personal questions, like, you know, my best friend, she's about to have the surgery, so she's like always asking these questions. She's like, you need to start a YouTube channel, because, you know, this is stuff people need to know. You know, a lot of people want to know sex after. What is sex like afterwards? What is your body reacting to? What is not reacting to? I'll let everybody know everything about me. I mean, I know it's not going to be the same for everybody. I've read stuff about people and their sex lives, and I'm like, I was worried about that, and it just, I mean, I guess it's different for everybody. So just stick with me. All right, bye people.